Now let's talk about visitor visa, specifically B1 and B2 visa. The United States has been intensifying scrutiny around alleged birth tourism and misrepresentation of travel purpose. According to the reports provided to TimesXP, a federal task force involving agencies including the State Department, CBP, and HSI is described as targeting commercial network and foreign visitors suspected of concealing their actual purpose of travel. And that distinction, it is very important. Traveling to US while pregnant is not automatically the same thing as committing visa fraud. The issue described in the report is misrepresentation. If somebody tells a consular officer one thing but actually plans to do something else, that can create serious immigration consequences. This also affects legitimate family travel. Now, consider an Indian family. Their daughter is living in Texas. She is expecting a baby. Her parents want to visit her. Maybe the parents genuinely intend to return to India after a few months. But because the visit is connected to pregnancy, the family may face more questions about finances, purpose, and length of stay. And yes, when you reach a US airport, having a visa, it does not automatically guarantee the entry here. CBP officers can still ask questions. Where are you staying? How long? Why are you visiting? Who is paying for this? When are you returning back? And the biggest rule is simple. Your answer, it must be truthful and consistent. According to the report, serious consequences for finding of material representation, including visa cancellation and potentially permanent admission to the US. So, this is not a story about frightening legitimate travelers. It is a story about understanding the difference between a legitimate visit and a false declaration. And sometimes the biggest threat to a legitimate visa journey, it isn't a new government rule. It is a person sitting beside you who promises to fix your document. Well, the next story is darker and it shows what can happen when illegal migration network become involved. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the reports, a New York woman named Stacey Taylor pleaded guilty in connection with an international human smuggling conspiracy involving people that are from India. The case described in the report, it goes back to January 2025. The US Border Patrol agents stopped Taylor's vehicle near New York. Inside, there were 4 men. 3 were from India, 1 was from Canada. Authorities determined that the men had crossed the US-Canada border without any sort of inspection. And you know what? The weather, it made the whole situation even more dangerous. It was freezing. It was not a normal border crossing. It was an illegal operation involving people being moved across an international boundary. Investigators they examined Taylor's phone, and according to the reports, they found communication suggesting involvement in another smuggling event as well. Now, let's take a step back from individual case. Why does this matter to Indian viewers? It does, because whenever immigration systems became harder, illegal networks try to sell shortcuts. They promise, don't worry, we know somebody, we can get you across, we can get you a job, we can arrange everything for you. But the shortcut, it can become a trap. And once you enter an illegal network, you are no longer simply navigating an immigration process. You may be putting your money, your safety, your legal future at risk. The lesson is painfully simple. There is no safe shortcut around immigration law in the US.